Yeah, I mean, so all we have to understand is that we don't understand. So, but going back to your question is, I would say find out what it is that triggered your aversion to Allah or religion. And I could guarantee you it's something someone did or said. You know, it's never like, it's never something that just, you know, like happened, you know, where you were just sitting in the comfort of your home and you were like, you know what, I don't like God, right? It's usually something someone did to you, the environment or the experience you lived in. Something happened that was like, if God really loved me, he wouldn't do this to me. Well, do you know what God didn't do to you? Like, do you know what you would have been otherwise? You know,
like, do you know what it means to not exist?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I'm not talking about death.
Yeah,
like not existing.
Yeah,
like is different than death. Right?
It is. Yeah, it's just like you don't cease
exist
to exist. Like there is no. SubhanAllah, man, it's crazy to think about. It really is. It's like
you just don't exist. You don't have the blessing to like the enjoyment. Of course, there's some enjoyment. You find pleasure in maybe looking at scenery, like at the ocean, right? Or whatever. Like that's a nice little, feels nice. Those waves, those the winds, the beach, the nice water. It feels nice, right? That's. Imagine you never felt that ever. Yeah, you know, didn't breathe.
just
didn't exist.
Yeah, just have an experience.
SubhanAllah.
And you know, like this whole dichotomy and polarization of our society is really it's really pretty crazy to me because, you know, and especially in social media, you talked about cancel culture and call out culture and all that stuff.
Right.
You know, we weren't meant to just spew our thoughts on, you know, social media or whatever. Like that wasn't our society was built and based off of us getting to know each other, right? So we are
لِتَعَارَفُوا.
I mean, we were born with differences, but we need to approach things with a curious mindset. We need to, you know, you don't need to just be disrespectful to someone because they're a Trump supporter or whatever. Like, it's not needed. Like, you can sit down and actually have a conversation with that person to understand where they're coming from, right?
Yep.
And that's gone. Like, if you look, even like if you know, someone posts something, someone says something ignorant, and then a bunch of people are like, hey, go home. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, I saw this thing. Some guy just converted to Islam and he had a tattoo of Allah on his neck.
Oh.
And he was like, you know, I converted to Islam. And everyone was just crapping on him.
Why? Because he got a tattoo?
Because he got a tattoo. Like, you know, that's against Islam and like stuff like that. And you just, you know, calling people out, just punching them to the ground.
Yeah.
That's not our fitrah. That's not what we're meant to do.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'll do it. I don't care. I got a tat.
You got a tat?
I have a tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And definitely got it at a time where just I wasn't really sure. Right?
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on. Right. Got a big old tattoo.
Nice.
All right. And you know, and I did it for myself.
Yeah.
I didn't do it for other people. Right. And it in a way I got it inverted. Right. Like it's on my chest. Right.
Okay.
It's inverted. So if you look at it, you have no idea. It looks like a mathematical formula, right?
Oh, okay. But if you look at it,
if I look at it in the mirror,
yeah,
it reads right.
Oh,
right?
that's pretty cool.
But that was only for me, right? I put a little bit of thought into it, right?
Yeah.
When I got it, and I was just like, it doesn't have like Allah or you know whatever, or like any Arabic letters. It's crazy. I justified it in my head to get it, right? I kind of sort of knew that maybe I shouldn't do this. I didn't know the actual source, right? And real talk, in my mind, I was like, I don't want to look at the source.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't want to look at it because I know what I might find there.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm going to kind of finagle around, right? And finesse the system, right? And I'm going to get it anyways, right? So in that process, I was like, I'm not going to have Arabic letters, right? I'm not going to have religious letters, right? Or words, right? And it's just going to look like it's nothing. It's just like a mathematical formula, right?
Yeah.
I chose this like different funky font, right? And, you know, yeah, I mean, it was, am I like, oh, hey man, got that, right? Like, no, I don't show off, right? Now, dude, it's so crazy. I'll be in the bathroom, like in the mirror. I don't look at it.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like right here.
Thug life.
Catfish. But like, you know, it's smack dab right here.
Yeah.
But like, imagine like looking in the mirror. It's right here.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're standing in the mirror, like the image in the mirror is actually like the same distance away inside the mirror.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Right? So if you're standing 2 feet away from a mirror,
Yeah.
that image is 2 feet inside the mirror.
Yeah.
Right? So it's right there. It's not like, oh, like, you know, you can avoid it. It's right there. And like probably 99% of the time I go into the bathroom,
Yeah.
I don't look at it.
It's and like when you gain a bunch of weight and you're like, I don't want to look at myself. It's just like look at your face. Yeah. That's it, right?
Yeah, kind of like that.
That COVID-19.
Yeah, that COVID-19 weight.
The 19 pounds, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. And I'm not proud of it.
Yeah.
But at the same token, I know that was a part of my life where, you know, I was going through some times.
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't want to. I thought about taking it off, like getting it lasered off and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, but then I was like, you know what? I made istighfar, right?
Yeah.
I came across this hadith, right? And, you know, just learning, just like through the process, right? Learning through the process. And at one point, I was just like, man, our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, like when he said something, you know, he didn't speak when just frivolously.
Yeah.
You know,
there was intention behind it.
He's like the best of messengers. And this is like the process that I'm talking about. Like learning about Islam, learning about who I am, right? Like what's my role here? What am I doing? Right? Like what's my opinion of God? Who is God? Who's Allah?
Yeah.
Who's God? Right? Is there a purpose of existence?
Yeah.
Right? And just learning. At one point, I personally came to this conclusion, and then when I read that hadith about, you know, just not harming your body and, you know, not changing it, right?
Yeah.
And it because it's a divine creation.
Yeah.
And you should respect it and stuff like that. I was like, man, and I was developing this like affinity towards our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, right? Yeah. And I just had this wave hit me, right? I was just like, man, I should just listen to him. You know, I should just listen to him. I just listened to him, and I started bawling. Right?
Oh wow!
I was like I actually mentally, I told you, justified not looking at any sort of content.
Yeah. That
would tell me, don't do it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's wrong.
Yeah. And then when I developed that affinity, I was like, man, I'm sorry. Yeah. You know, I didn't listen to you.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I mean, going back to your point about like being courteous to people, like, hello, like that's okay.
Yeah.
It's nice to be courteous to people.
Yep.
You don't have to be mean to people, you know? Whether they have a tad, whether they just converted, whether it's whatever type of support or whatever cause that you disagree with, maybe. It's okay to be nice and courteous.
It's okay to just try to be curious, right? Just understand. Just try to like I don't know, like view everyone as an alien, that just completely new person that you don't have any sort of biases towards. It's impossible because you always have this unconscious bias. But I find that in every experience, and when you think about the intentionality of the way Allah puts things together and how you were meant to be next to, like sitting next to that particular person in that flight or in the train, or meeting them at the gas station or whatever. Like, when you realize the significance of every moment, you try to make the best of it, because Allah put you in that moment for a reason.
Allah,
right?
Yes, most definitely.
So that's why, like, I mean, it is hard to think about, because you think about all the time we waste just like, watching TV or just chilling. Like, you know the hadith of like Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he said, take advantage of 4 before you lose them.
5.
Or is it 5? Yeah,
I think it's 5.
4 or 5.
Health before like you get sick, time before you get busy.
Exactly.
Youth before old age. And some other things.
What was the other one? Youth before old age, and wealth before
you get poor.
Poor.
Yeah.
And
life before death.
Life before death. I mean, that is so real, bro. Like, the time, like, think about the time
you want
wasted.
a motivational little snippet? That's it right there.
That's it, dude. How much time did we waste, like, when we were just chilling, like, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18, 19, 20? It's like, man, now, bro, my kids last night, they woke me up 3 times, in the middle of the night. Every time I stay up late, it's at the expense of them waking me up in the morning. Like, I realize that. Like, it's not, I don't have time, man. I don't have time for much of anything. I barely have time to just, just sit down and think.
Right.
Wow. So time, health, dude, I used to be able to, just run, play soccer every day. Like, I would never feel sore. I would never, it was just like, now I'm like, man, I wish I would have, like, played more sports or done this or done that. And then, obviously, like, you get sick. Any moment, any of us could, be diagnosed with something that just, like, changes our lives completely.
Yeah. And sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there's a divine wisdom for anything. Yeah. Right? You could walk out of here and, like, God forbid,
not make it home.
Not make it home. Or you may get a flat tire.
Yeah.
And it's hard to, you mentioned this earlier, that you don't think of things that didn't happen to you. Right? Just because something did happen to you, in that moment, you're freaking, negative Nancy out here. Right? Yeah. Like, oh my God, I got a frat, right?
Yeah, man.
And it's like, did you not think that maybe Allah in His divine wisdom poked a little hole in your tire, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't get in that major accident.
Yep.
On the same path.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard to think of it that way.
Yeah.
Right?
And we're so unthankful, man. It's just like, when you just consider, like, just the things that Allah gave us, just like eyesight, and you only think about it when someone loses it. Someone else loses it, and you're like, oh man, thank God I have it.
SubhanAllah.